For the wives of Hollywood's top plastic surgeons.
Yeah, but even the shape of your face has changed.
No, it has not. I've had no plastic surgery on my face.
There was a time when Facelift was a quiet confession. It was similar to a whispered secret at dinner parties. Now, the sort of thing you did after your 50s, when gravity finally won against your face. Nowadays, people are doing it before they even paid off their student loans. You need to imagine that in 2025, we have a growing number of women in their 20s and even early 30s that are getting full surgical facelifts. They're doing this not to fight their aging, you're quite young at that age, but to erase the damage which is left by the latest beauty trends. If the 2010 gave us fillers, the 2020s gave us a cleanup operation. This video I'll aim to see what's going on with the trends imagining younger ladies and why everybody's so obsessed with surgeries nowadays, and why is Turkey even becoming the capital of all these botched operations, so to say. Let's take Amanda, which she's a 30 years old mother from Florida. Her husband cried when she came home from Turkey, not out of sentiment, it's because her face was so swollen that she couldn't open her eyes. She had 6 procedures done to her with 1 trip abroad. And all those years that she had back in the days of hyaluronic filter and acids and whatever, turned her cheeks into a melting candle wax. As you can see, she calls it rebalancing. Well, I can tell you that surgeons will call this filler fatigue or something similar. But you need to get this, that the logic is pretty much simple. You spend your 20s chasing symmetry with injectables, then you spend your 30s surgically undoing it. So in other terms, you're doing 1 step forward and 3 steps back. It's similar to you downloading too many filters until the app crashes. But the only fix left now, it's a factory reset. But when it comes to your face, you can't undo that. Like I've mentioned, Turkey, to be more specific, Istanbul has become the new beauty pilgrimage. You book your flight, your hotel, your new face, and all of these 3 things that we've mentioned, they're all in an email thread. You've got clinics that offer you a package now, and it's mental what you can do with breakfast. You get neck lifts, you get complimentary massages, and you remember Amanda that we talked about earlier. Imagine that she went in for an eyelid surgery. She came out with a forehead lift, a neck lift, a lip lift, a buccal fat removal, and a stranger in the mirror. Considering that you did all of this procedure to yourself, imagine what it happens to you when you wake up and check yourself in the mirror. When a surgeon starts using words like contour and balance, forgetting that you're actually in hospital and not on Photoshop. Surgery was designed for an audience that grew up editing selfies, and now they want to edit reality. That's messed up. The rebrand of everything in this industry that stopped calling it anti-aging, that sounded a bit too desperate. Imagine some beauty fashions and all these things calling anti-aging. That sounds a bit too harsh, don't you think? Now they have a term, and coined it actually, which is called beautification. Yeah, sure, mate. It's not. It's a facelift that is no longer about you looking younger, which was the design purpose, and God knows why. But now it's about you looking better because you're chasing perfection, which don't exist. This new technique, which is the deep plane facelift, is actually marketed as natural. So you have surgeons that say that they move the deeper tissue instead of the skin. So you don't look pulled, you just look adjusted. I don't, my face just hurts. Adjusted, yeah, that's the word. We used to call it dysmorphia. Now, every era has its aesthetic cult. I mean, don't get me wrong, you had the 90s where it was crack, and in the 2010s it was the filler. Now it's surgically refinement of the face. And no, I think this generation which is sculpting itself before it's even finished forming, you're not even mature at 25 fully, yet you start to touch your face. Now, we've gone in so deep in this commerce of insecurity that you have one woman that compared it to being a kid in a candy store. Except the candy in this case was an aesthetic and the price is £9,000. Clean It sells it as a empowerment. So you need to empower yourself to spend that much money, and then payment plans, or you can pay it in monthly installments or pre-op facials, influencer codes, whatever. You can now finance your self-esteem like it's a car. It's just messed up. No one's gonna tell you that, yes, you're too young. No, they're gonna tell you, yeah, you're perfect for this new technique that we came up with. Because ethics don't convert as well with aesthetics.
Here, 26-year-old Keisha Amoa booked in for a consultation with Dr. Reza. and there was no frames on the wall with his qualifications on it like you would normally see in a doctor's office.
But that didn't set any alarm bells for you?
In hindsight, now, yes, of course, it sets off a lot of alarm bells, but at the time, I'm thinking to myself, he's a trained surgeon. There is no way in Australia that a person can perform surgery on somebody when they're not actually a plastic surgeon.
This system that thrives on dissatisfaction because we're bored with ourselves and we want to do something, and every mirror that reflection is a marketing opportunity that can't be missed. And the only thing scarier than aging is looking normal, since everybody's just a copy and paste of everybody nowadays. Even if you look when it comes to clothes, fashion trends, hairstyles, the way we do everything is a copy paste. Nobody has authenticity. Nobody wants to be themselves. It's boring to be normal, isn't it? Fuck off. You need to get this that even some doctors have started to push people back. One told The Guardian that operating on people in their 20s, they risk targeting patients with deeper problems. But most won't tell you that out loud. Criticize this filler manufacturer industry and you'll get a court letter before lunch. That's the quiet truth of this industry and why it thrives. Every ethical hesitation is bad for business, of course. So they keep cutting, they keep filling, they keep pretending it's all about their confidence, whereas it's a deeper rooted cause in this society. Meanwhile, confidence has become the most profitable illness of the 21st century. Since not everyone goes under the knife for vanity, one woman in the same article had her face shattered in a car crash when she was 16. Her facelift wasn't cosmetic. It was more on the restoration side. She said that surgery didn't make her look snatched, or it just made her look her age. That's what real reconstruction is. Returning to something lost, not chasing something that was invented overnight. And considering that her, unfortunately, case didn't sell a trend, and reconstruction doesn't sell, because before and after, if you had the car crash, doesn't sell as much. It's not a trend. When you reinvent everything in your face and you resculpt it because you're not happy, that creates trends. So see how shallow society has become. Anyway, I'm not here to judge. Go and cut yourself, do whatever you want. It's a free country, it's a free world. Do whatever you want. Facelifts used to mean resistance against time. You would do them when you were 50s, 60s because you're scared of yourself in the mirror. Boo-hoo. Get over it. Now, they mean surrender to it. Everybody is surrendering to this trend. We have the first generation to experience aging as a marketing failure, to treat the passage of time like it's a design flaw. No, you're meant to age. It's normal. It's part of life. I get it. Nobody wants to age. Just don't mutilate yourself. Since we began as a vanity and we evolved pretty much into maintenance, Botox, filling everything out. And now because maintenance, then into identity. If that's your whole identity and your whole character, I'm sorry to say, but that's a cardboard box, mate. So imagine that every few years, this technique changes. The filler, the lift, the laser, but the message stays the same. You were almost beautiful. You were close there. So that almost always keeps the light on and keeps people changing. So don't worry. You look gorgeous. Just snap out of it. Trust me. Adios.